Welcome to Everything But Talent, episode 1.
Very first podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
Podcast number 1.
Here we go.
Woo! All right, so my name's Tanner. My last name is Bolton, for those of you who don't know me.
You should.
You should. I'm amazing. And this gentleman across from me, your co-host, go ahead and introduce yourself, sir.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Luis Calderon. And I am one half of the team of Everything But Talent.
Yes, Everything But Talent. If you have not already, go to Facebook, hit that like button, share it with your friends, let everybody know that
Friends, your neighbors, your pets,
yes,
your grade school teachers, share it with everybody.
we want to get out there, and you fine folks are our way to stardom.
And to be honest, we already have, 45 likes on our page?
Yes.
Excuse me, that's a lot more than I anticipated for the first week.
Agreed. I mean, when we started this has been 5 years in the making for you and I. And,
it has been.
And I got to give a shout out to our brother and dearest friend, Jesse Cyrus. If you guys don't know him, go and see what he's up to in his life.
So you had him. He's on his way to becoming a doctor.
Yeah.
We're over here trying to get famous to make a living.
Yeah, he's doing the righteous thing, and we're trying to make money being dumb on the radio and doing a podcast and making movies.
Doing a podcast on the phone until we can get a computer, but hey, it's something.
Jesse Cyrus actually came up with our name, so Everything But Talent, we got to give credit when it's due. And Jesse, if you're listening to this, thanks, buddy. You're the shit.
He is very good friend.
But let's see what else. What else, Luis? We're making a movie.
We're making a movie. That's right.
Our first shoot is in April. There will be more news for that. If you want to follow our production company for our movies, we have another page on Facebook called TMJL Productions. Go over there, give us a like, and stay tuned for more news. And then we have our big production of the year, Nighthawk, which starts filming in June. And we're casting for that in May. So if any of you are listening and are aspiring actors or are actors in the Utah film community, go ahead and shoot me a message on my Facebook page, Tanner Bolton, or Everything But Talent, or TMJL, and we'll talk and we'll get everything going.
That's right. Very big news, exciting stuff happening.
Yes, exciting. 2016 is the year for everybody, not just us.
Everybody.
I believe that this year we're going to see success across the board.
Yes. Tanner, first off, before we start on our topics for the day, tell me and tell the audience about yourself.
Let's see. Like we kind of discussed, I'm a screenwriter. I write scripts.
That is very good.
Thank you.
I read one of them and tried to read another when I was drunk. I don't remember much of that one.
Yeah, I like to have a good time. I like to drink me some beer. I can get a little crazy when I'm at the bar, but I'm pretty down to earth. I like to play games. I like to watch movies. I like to talk about movies and games, and that's why we're doing this podcast. I also love my family. Love this guy sitting across from me, Luis, dear brother, dear friend, and all of you else out there. Jake Cooper, Jesse Cyrus,
Jake Cooper,
Tyson Louder. I love you guys, everybody. Charles Kennedy, you'll probably never hear this, but we miss you.
Charles, come back to us, my brother.
We miss you. We hope all is well with you and Cicely and your little baby boy Jasper. But Luis, what about you, man? Tell us what is new in Luis Calderon's life.
What is new? Well, I have a 5-month-old.
Cutest freaking kid I've ever seen in my life.
I never thought I'd say I'd have a kid, but I also never thought I'd say I'm doing a podcast right now. So, very exciting stuff. I have a beautiful, beautiful girlfriend.
Soon to be wife.
Anyway. Well, my interests include every expensive hobby you could probably find. I'm very lucky that way. I like sports. I like hanging out with my friends. Love my family. And I hate Donald Trump. Let's get started.
Yes, and on that note, feel the burn, everybody. Vote for Bernie Sanders. If you're old enough, get out there and let's revolutionize America.
Absolutely.
Make it great again. But on to the news of the day. Luis.
Tanner.
Uncharted 4. Uncharted 4. Biggest release of PS4 to date, in my personal opinion.
What would you say was the first big release for PS4?
For me, I would say the biggest title they had when it first launched was Infamous Second Son.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously we're third year of the PS4's life cycle. I think The Witcher 4, it launched on both Xbox One and PS4, but I think that's the biggest title that they have seen. If we're sticking to console exclusive, I think Bloodborne is probably the biggest PlayStation 4 exclusive they've had.
Absolutely.
But this April the 26th, the final chapter in Nathan Drake's history, life, what have you, it's coming to an end. I'm kind of sad, but I'm happy. It'll be good to see Naughty Dog move on to bigger and better things. But Uncharted 4 comes with a bundle. You can get a silver PS4 with Nathan Drake on the PS4.
Nice.
Pretty nifty. Also comes with a PS4 controller that is a deep silver, kind of light bluey color. And then if you don't already, you can get the PlayStation Gold headset for $99.99 at Best Buy or GameStop. And they're releasing the same color as the PlayStation for that PlayStation Gold headset.
Awesome.
So if you want a whole matching bundle of joy,
who doesn't?
Then go ahead and get that. But as far as the story goes, we have some new characters coming in.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we go any further, we forgot to announce this episode will contain spoilers for a lot of stuff.
Yes, if you don't want to hear spoilers of things that have come out or things that will come out, and you may not know of these things, then stop right now.
No, don't stop. Keep listening. But be wary.
We need you to listen. We love you guys. We need your support.
We will give a quick spoiler shout before we say anything.
Hopefully. But yes, if I spoil something, I'm terribly sorry. You can send me hate mail to EverythingButTalent@gmail.com.
You can throw rocks at him when you see him in public.
Yes, if you see me in public, you can throw rocks at me. But as far as Uncharted 4 goes, the story, we have Sam, Nate's older brother, coming in. We have Nate and Elena together, but something is amiss. If any of you have seen any trailers, we see that Elena is really upset with Drake because he lied about where he was going, and he's really looking for this pirate treasure called Libertalia. It's like this giant island where all these pirates put all their gold, and kind of like Treasure Island, I guess. But I'm sorry?
Their booty.
Yeah, their booty. I'm really interested to see what happens with this, how it will end. If I had to make the ending, I want something happy. I want Drake and Elena to finally have a kid, and I want this series to just be over. It's on a high note, and Naughty Dog is a great company, so I think if they end it that way, it'll be good for them and all of the fans.
Yeah. Question about Uncharted. Which would you say is... Have you played all the games?
Yes, absolutely.
Which one would you... How would you rank them?
For me personally, and a lot of people would argue with me, I think the second one, Uncharted Among Thieves, is the best. That could be because I'm partial to Neil Druckmann and Bruce Straley, who are Naughty Dog's best. Neil Druckmann is the creative director and writer of Uncharted 2 and The Last of Us, and then Bruce Straley is their game director. But Uncharted 2 really changed gaming for me. It was a very cinematic experience. Mm-hmm. Uncharted was one of the first games I played on a new generation console on PS3. And then God of War 3 I played as well. But Uncharted really changed everything. It was very narrative driven. It was very cinematic. It was like watching a movie. And I've never played a game with a better opening than Uncharted 2. And again, a lot of people will argue with me, but when you open that game and it's a giant train wreck and Drake is bleeding out all over the train in the chair of the train, and you have to scale up it and get off the cliff, like that game just blew me away. Every moment of the game, it stepped itself up. I mean, you're getting chased by helicopters. It's great. Second would probably be Uncharted 3, Drake's Deception. Really good. I mean, it stepped up the cinematic experience from number 2, but for me, number 2 had the best story. Mm-hmm. And I'm a history nut. I love history. So those games really resonate with me, kind of like Assassin's Creed. And then Uncharted, Drake's Fortune, the first one, is probably my least favorite, but it's good. And those of you who have PS3, you can pick that up in a trilogy bundle at GameStop for $19.99. If you have a PS4, you can get the remastered trilogy for $29.99 at your local GameStop, I believe.
Which is a really good deal.
I know, that's 3 games. Or if you don't have a PS4 and you want a PS4, you can get a bundle with the Uncharted collection for $299.99 at GameStop, Best Buy, Walmart, and any other electronics store that you can think of. If you're not listening to this in Utah, wherever you are, Fry's Electronics for you people in
Google it.
the South and the East. Yeah, that's Uncharted 4. And then The Division is also a big release coming out on March 8th, I believe. The open beta is the 19th of February for PS4 and PC players. You people with Xbox Ones get to play it a day early on February 18th. It's open, so anybody can play. If you have Xbox Live or PlayStation Plus, go ahead, jump on, download it, and give it a whirl, see if it's something you like. I don't know how much we want to get into The Division, but I will ask, are you excited for this game in any fashion, Luis?
I have no clue what it is.
Well, it's a MMORPG shooter. It's a big game from what I understand. It takes place mostly in Manhattan. I'm not too sure about it. I want to play the beta, get a better feel for it. But for me, it's being compared to Destiny. Mm-hmm. And Destiny left a bad taste in my mouth. I'm still bitter about that game. I mean, it was hyped so much and all these promises were made and it didn't deliver. And also Ubisoft has a horrible track record for making bullshit promises and then not delivering. I mean, Watch Dogs 2 looked beautiful, or Watch Dogs, excuse me, not Watch Dogs 2. Watch Dogs was announced and then 3 years later finally came out and it looked like crap compared to when it was announced. And the same thing with The Division from what I've seen is when it was announced, that new Snowdrop engine, it was beautiful. Now the beta's come out, the closed beta was played a couple weeks ago and it looks like crap compared. And you know, graphics aren't everything, but if you're going to market a game and you're going to show me graphics, I expect them to be that same way when the game comes out.
Yeah.
But if they're not, it's not going to be a deal breaker for me. If it's like Destiny and there's all this stuff promised and they don't deliver, then I probably will get rid of it and not buy it again, just like I did with Destiny.
What was the issue with Destiny?
Well, Destiny was... Bungie promised all of these things. You could go to all these different planets. There would be tons of things to do. They promised this huge story, and they didn't deliver on anything. The story took me like 6 hours to beat. It wasn't that great. There weren't as many planets to go to as they said. The raids were ridiculously tough when the game first came out. Now I hear they're not as bad. Some are really bad. The only thing that I did like, which is surprising, is the online. And I'm not a huge online gamer. Like, I like to play stuff for the narrative. I like characters and story.
Yep.
But Destiny's online was really good. It's not for me. And now everybody says, well, get the Taken King because it's so much better. It's everything they promised. But I don't think I will. And for those of you who haven't gone on to Everything But Talent, I posted a little article. Destiny 2 was confirmed for release in 2017 by Bungie. So if you haven't picked up Destiny, don't waste your money. Just wait for Destiny 2 because I'm sure it'll have everything Destiny has and then a whole new story.
Would it be a reboot, do you think? Or
I don't think it'll be a reboot. I think what they'll do is they'll take everything they made in Destiny and Destiny the Taken King, put it in that game, and then add a whole new story onto it and just call it Destiny 2. I mean, what they've been working on that game for 10 plus years, and they have all this stuff built for it. They just didn't put it in the game like they said they were going to. I mean, all the areas that they promised were locked, and it was all unlocked by DLC, which is a huge cop-out. Like, I paid $40 for an expansion pass I never used. So Bungie, if you're listening to this, fuck you. I don't like you. But you can redeem yourself by making Destiny 2 amazing. But anyway, enough of my rant about Destiny.
No, I want to keep hearing this. Time.
I don't like Destiny, and we can't talk about that anymore. But also, if you weren't on Everything But Talent, I dropped a few other things. Watch Dogs 2 was confirmed for release for fiscal 2017, which basically is the company's way of saying it'll come out within the next year. So if it's not out by April 2017 or April 2017, then Ubisoft lied again, and we'll see another delay in Watch Dogs 2. But for you Watch Dogs fan out there, if you want that game, look for it in the next year. Ubisoft also released an article saying that there will be no new Assassin's Creed video game this year, which is amazing. I'm so glad that they're doing this because Assassin's Creed is a franchise that I dearly love, and a lot of people despise it, but I love it. I think they're great games. Some of them have really crappy stories, but for the most part, it's an all-around fun experience.
How many games are there? I feel like I see a ad for a new game every few weeks.
That depends on what you're talking about. If you're talking about mainstream Assassin's Creed games, you have Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, Revelations, Assassin's Creed 3, Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and I believe Assassin's Creed Unity and Assassin's Creed Rogue were released together, and then you have Assassin's Creed Syndicate, which for those of you listening who give a crap, Assassin's Creed Syndicate was my 2015 Game of the Year. Everybody is probably booing...
2015 Game of the Year?
Yeah, everyone's probably booing me and saying you're crazy with games like The Witcher and Fallout 4, but...
And Bloodborne.
And everything else. But for me, Assassin's Creed Syndicate is the most fun I've had in a video game in a long time. And Metal Gear Solid, The Phantom Pain, I had tons of fun. But I had more fun playing Assassin's Creed Syndicate. The world was beautiful. The characters were hilarious. The story was better than any story that they've done. I mean, the twins were the best assassins, in my opinion, better than Ezio. So if you are an Assassin's Creed fan, definitely check it out. I believe it's only $39.99 at GameStop now. But yes, so no new Assassin's Creed game. But December 21st, there will be an Assassin's Creed movie starring Michael Fassbender and Marion Cotillard.
How do you feel about that?
Well... Here's the deal. If you go off track records of video game movies, the movie's going to suck. Save for Resident Evil. I think the Resident Evil movies are the only movies that are doing something a little bit right. I don't think they're perfect. And they really lost sight of the game. They've become their own thing. But they did all right. And Doom wasn't bad. But I think Assassin's Creed is a whole different thing. If you tell the story correctly and you have the right cast... I think it could be really good. It might be the sleeper hit of 2016. Who knows? But I'll probably like it because it has Michael Fassbender, and that dude can do anything.
He is talented.
He's one of the best working men in Hollywood right now. I mean, I put him in leagues with Denzel and Tom Hanks. He's really good. And we will talk more about him later with our main topic of discussion, the Academy Awards. But... let's see. What else do we have? Doom is finally confirmed for release, May 19th. For those of you who like Doom, this long-awaited sequel, reboot, whatever it is, has been in development since 2008. It has had different rewrites. There was some footage leaked or released of what the game was going to look like, and it's totally different now. Closed beta is happening. Registration is not available, so if you wanted to play it, you're SOL, I'm sorry. If you want to play the open beta, stay tuned with Everything But Talent, and as soon as we know, you'll know. But as far as we know, the open beta is not up. And then story, I have no clue what is going on in this game. Like I said, I think it's a sequel, but a reboot. Some elements.
It looks like you're running around and shooting everything in sight, which is pretty dang cool.
I think it's going to be great. I mean, it's a callback to what Doom originally was on the PC. I mean, you just went around and blew shit up with shotguns and flamethrowers and machine guns and machetes and chainsaws, and it looks incredible. Gameplay mechanics, I'm sure, will be up to par with everyone's standards. It'll probably play like most first-person shooters. But Luis, let's give me a break, and you tell us what you have. What news are you bringing us today?
What news? Well, Dark Souls 3 put out a new cinematic trailer about a week ago, I think, and it is absolutely beautiful. Tanner, I know
how beautiful is beautiful, Luis? Because this look you have on your face right now tells me that this game looked incredible.
it looks incredible, and that's something that From Software does great with their games. They make the atmosphere and the environment come to life and gets you engaged. They're not too much into the story.
Yeah.
They kind of leave you stranded on that part. They tell you to go figure it out by yourself and piece the parts together. But when it comes to visuals, they do a great job. They do a great job at making it seem like you're going up against an impossible task every time you face the boss. And once you do beat them, you feel like you could walk out.
You feel like Stonewall Jackson, you're 10 foot tall and bulletproof?
Exactly. So it looks great, and I saw some gameplay footage as well. And, you know, I haven't played any of these Dark Souls or Demon Souls or Bloodborne. I have seen some Bloodborne playthroughs on YouTube, and I can say it looks a lot like Bloodborne. And that's not a bad thing, because Bloodborne looks pretty damn cool. I'm thinking about picking it up myself.
Yeah, I hear Bloodborne is actually their most well-received title.
Yeah, for sure. Bloodborne, from what I understand, was a lot different than the Demon Souls and Dark Souls games. Those games required you to be on the defensive a lot. You have your shield and your sword, and you have to block and block and block and wait for the right moment to strike.
Yeah.
For Bloodborne, you can get a shield, but it's useless. You have a really large amount of weapons you can select from once you get enough of the currency in the game, but you can just attack all these very creative enemies that the game presents. And they have a really cool feature in that game where if you get hit, you have a certain amount of time to strike the enemy back, and you can regain some of your health, which is something I find pretty interesting. But Dark Souls 3 definitely looks great. I'm definitely going to pick it up when it comes out. Very excited for it.
Well, awesome. I'm not as excited for it. I will say that Bloodborne looks incredible. Visually, it looks amazing, but also gameplay wise, and I like it because it looks a lot more fast paced than the other titles that they've released.
Right.
Like you were saying, it's a lot of defensive. I do hear it's very narrative driven. I mean, there's a lot of lore in their world.
A lot of lore, but the thing is, I'm not too sure about this. I haven't played these games, like I said, but From Software just makes you jump into this world and lets you figure it out for yourself. There's not a map that tells you, okay, you have this objective, now this one and that one, and tells you how to do each one. It just lets you loose and you try and figure it out by yourself. The only thing you have is your inventory and your life and your stamina, and those can be upgraded. And in Bloodborne, other players could leave you notes laying around you could read, and they could help you out a little bit. And you could also jump into someone else's game, or someone else could jump into your game and help you out if you had a hard time with a certain enemy.
So with the jump in, jump out co-op, if you will,
Right.
When I played Dark Souls, that's one thing that really turned me off of that game is, people could drop into your game and slaughter you and then leave. So I played that game maybe 15, 20 minutes, and when I played it, I mean, I'm a low level, and somebody who was a ridiculous level dropped into my game, slaughtered me, took all my crap, and left. So needless to say, I threw my controller against the wall and had to go buy a new one. But I've never wanted to play one of those games ever until Bloodborne. And the reason is like how fast paced it is, and it's more. I mean, I like knights and dragons and all that crap, but the Bloodborne title looks a lot. It looks a lot cooler if that's the right word.
And all these games have the same mechanics as, at least with Bloodborne and as Dark Souls 3, fighting mechanics and just the way everything feels. So what were you saying? People could jump in. It's only if you call for them. I don't think anyone's just going to randomly appear
Okay.
and
Because
mess your life up. But.
In Dark Souls, they could just come in at will.
Oh,
and
could they?
Yeah, and I know like it's a feature you could turn off. Like if you didn't want to have online on, you could turn it off. I just never knew that till after the fact.
No.
So I broke a $65 controller for no reason when I could have just turned the feature off. But those were my younger years when I was quick to get mad.
Quick to anger.
Yes.
Before Charles Kennedy introduced us to the power of now.
Yes, Charles Kennedy introduced us to the power of now. If you are looking for a good book, The Power of Now, go read it. And before we get any further, I forgot. Our sponsor for today is American Custom Industries. If you are in need of home remodel or commercial business or anything to do with construction, go ahead and shoot me a message over at EverythingButTalent@gmail.com or drop me a message on Facebook, and I will get you hooked up with some sweet deals on home remodel.
Very good stuff. Very good stuff.
Absolutely. All right, continue, Luis. Unless, what is your next item? Is this the biggie, the big dog?
The big dog? Not really. This is more of a small dog, if you will. This is from Telltale. They're releasing a new Walking Dead game based around Michonne. It's going to be a three episode game series rather than their 5 episode ones that they've released in the past with seasons 1 and 2 of The Walking Dead.
Okay.
But I'm really interested in seeing how this plays out and getting to know Michonne more before the apocalypse. And during the apocalypse until she meets up with Rick. It's really something that I think a lot of fans will enjoy, and it'll bring a lot more mainstream attention to Telltale and the great work they do with their storytelling. Not so much gameplay, but the experience, and it feels like you're watching a Walking Dead episode and being able to interact and decide what happens.
Yeah, sure. That sounds awesome. You and I talked about this before. I'm not a huge Walking Dead fan, so this game for me isn't, something I'm looking forward to.
I can't look at you right now.
I know. You always give me a hard time, and so will a lot of other people. But, I mean, one thing this game does have going for it, at least for me, is Michonne.
Right.
I mean, when I watch The Walking Dead, she's the character I like to watch the most because she uses a katana, and I think it's badass. And, I mean, if Daryl wasn't on the show, and this is probably everyone else's statement as well, he's the best. But if he wasn't there, then I would definitely be watching the show for Michonne. But I haven't seen anything since the governor was in the show. Like I have no idea.
Yeah, I've definitely lost my place in The Walking Dead as well. I've yet to watch the latest season, so I'm not sure if they've revealed anything about Michonne's past.
Yeah.
And from where I left off, but I do know that not too much was explained. I know they but pretty much pointed at the fact that she had a baby and lost it. But besides that, nothing much is known. She's just an ass kicker that likes to cut zombies' heads off. Another character I would like to see them focus on would be Daryl. He's definitely another fan favorite of that show, and it would be awesome to see a backstory for him because not much has been explained about him either. He's mysterious up until the point where we meet him at the camp.
Yeah, I mean, I would play a Daryl game, and I know they had The Walking Dead Survival Instincts, and it wasn't very well received, if I remember correctly. Shout out to IGN. They gave it a 7.1, I think, or something along those lines, which isn't a terrible score. It might have been lower than that. I don't remember. But it definitely didn't live up to everyone's expectations.
Right. And it's from what I saw, it was just go from point A to point B, do the same thing. Now go to this new location and do the same thing. You might break down along the way. You're driving this car, you might break down, and you might have to go around the highway and try and get some supplies and gas. And
Yeah.
besides that, nothing much happened.
Nothing as intricate as DayZ or H1Z1, those other zombie games that are
Right.
out there for the PC.
Right.
What else about The Walking Dead? Is there anything else going on?
About The Walking Dead, not really. Nothing much has been said about Michonne. It's just kind of been teased. I just saw a trailer, no gameplay footage
Okay.
or anything like that. Although I'm assuming it's going to be the same as they have done in the past with their seasons 1 and 2 of The Walking Dead.
Okay.
A lot of quick time events, a lot of dialogue, and a lot of you choosing what to say in that dialogue. It's a very choice-driven game, and you get to build relationships with the characters that are in the game as well. And based upon that, people live, people die. A lot of crazy stuff happens.
Well, it sounds interesting. Do we know a release date?
A release date? Not that I can tell you at this moment.
I mean, 2016 for sure.
2016.
I'm assuming.
I would hope so.
Okay.
They did say, Telltale did say that they would hold off on releasing season 3 of their Walking Dead main series to do the spin-off of Michonne. So 2016 for sure for this one.
Okay, and I know that they're working on a Batman series as well that's releasing in 2016. They released a trailer for it at PlayStation Experience. If you want to see PlayStation Experience's live stream, they have it on PlayStation's app on YouTube, so go over there and watch it. It's about an hour and a half long if you give a crap about that stuff. But let's continue on here to the PlayStation Plus titles for the month of February. We have Helldivers for PS4. It's an arcade shooter. You can team up with 3 of your friends and destroy aliens and do all sorts of crazy maniacal things. Another game for the PS4, Nom Nom Galaxy.
Nom Galaxy.
I have no idea what this is. I am intrigued. I do want to play it. I also want to play Helldivers. But I don't know. I don't know what Nom Nom Galaxy is. We'll have to see.
I might just pick it up based on the title alone.
Yeah, the title is very catchy. For you PS3 owners, Grid Autosport is a PlayStation Plus title for the month of February. Anybody rocking the Vita, Lemmings Touch is coming out is out for free on PlayStation Plus for the Vita. And then Nova 111 is also out for the Vita. I don't have a Vita, so I have no idea what these games are, nor do I really care. I'm not a handheld gamer, but my job is to tell you what's out there in the world of gaming. So if you have a Vita and are looking for some free games, Lemmings Touch and Nova 111. And then the other title for PS3 is Persona 4 Arena Ultimax. If you're a Persona fan, it's free. Get out there. I know there's a ton of Persona fans in the community.
Clue what that is.
I personally don't know what Persona is. I think it's a JRPG or like a game like Street Fighter.
Oh.
I'm not sure. It's a Japanese game for sure. That much I do know. And then for you Xbox owners out there, boo! Xbox games with gold. For Xbox One, we have Hand of Fate. I don't play Xbox, so if you want to know what these are, drop me a message at the Everything But Talent Facebook page, and I will find out. Or go to Google and Google it yourself if you would like. The other title, Styx, Master of Shadows, is also a game with gold on Xbox One. Sacred Citadel is game with gold for 360, so any of you 360 players out there. And then also the best title out of the bunch, in my opinion, Gears of War 2 is a game with gold for February. And then side note for all of you Xbox One owners, and sorry 360, but Xbox One can play all of these games because of the backwards compatibility, which I hate you guys for because I wish PlayStation would do that.
How amazing would that be if there was backwards compatibility?
It would change the world.
Wasn't the PS3 the original one
Yeah, the 60 gigabyte one. Yeah, it was backwards compatible with PS2, but there's just so much that goes into it. But who am I kidding? It's a bunch of bullshit. Like, Sony, get off your lazy asses and make things backwards compatible. I love you. I pay tons of money to play on PlayStation. Just do me and the rest of the community a favor.
I think the one thing they try to do is do a cash grab with PlayStation Now.
Yeah. And, I mean, PlayStation Now isn't bad. I tried it when it first came out. $7.99 for 90 days isn't bad at all. The only catch is if you have crappy internet,
it's going to be awful.
Yeah, you can't play the game. You have to have internet.
Because it streams, right?
It's a streaming service. So, yes, PlayStation, if you work for PlayStation or know somebody who works at PlayStation, tell them that Everything But Talent would like them to make PS4 backwards goddamn compatible.
Everybody listening, all two of you.
All two, the two of us that are going to be listening are me and you, but it's okay.
We will find out who works at PlayStation, and we will write a letter.
We will. I'll be in LA in May. Maybe I'll stop there and say hello to Sony.
Say hello to the guard at the door.
Yes,
and then get told to leave.
Yeah, we'll see what's up. And then let's see what else. Also releasing this month, I posted about it on Everything But Talent on Facebook. Firewatch received a 9.3 out of 10 from IGN. I have not picked it up. I'm going to pick it up this weekend, and then I'll have the review up when I'm done. I hear it's a 4-hour game, but don't be cheap asses. Drop the $20. Get the 4 hours of entertainment. If you're a trophy hunter,
easy trophies.
They're easy. They're easy trophies. It's kind of garbage. There's no platinum, and I don't even think there's a gold trophy. But
to play off of that a little bit, Telltale is great with prices. Both the season 1 and 2 when they first were released, as a whole disc with the whole game, all the episodes on it, I think was $30.
Mm-hmm.
And that is quality content for $30.
Yeah.
And if you're a trophy hunter as well, you get trophies just for finishing a freaking episode.
Yep.
And if you finish all the episodes, I think you get a platinum.
You do.
So, I mean,
Telltale
what is not to like about that?
Yeah, if you're a trophy hunter and you're looking for some easy platinums, Telltale is definitely the way to go. I know that Sony ranks people based off trophies. So if you're trying to get up in rank on Sony's website and you want more trophies, go ahead.
Where are you ranked, Mr. Tanner?
Dude, I'm like 10 millionth on the list. I am not a trophy hunter. I play games for the story and to have fun, but some people I do know that are trophy hunters. Also, we'll name drop here. Kinda Funny Games, Greg Miller and Colin Moriarty. They're also fellow podcasters who do a really good job, but they are about trophies, and they both have ridiculous trophy levels. They're not the highest I've ever heard of. The highest trophy level guy has got to have like a trophy level 200 or 300.
That is insane. I've been stuck at 5 since I got my PS4.
Yeah, like it's crazy. And I mean, you have to be dedicated to trophy hunting because some trophies in some games are ridiculously hard to get. Like, stupid hard. So I don't trophy hunt. But enough of that. Also releasing Far Cry Primal comes out on February 24th. Let's talk about this for a second. Far Cry Primal. You're not...
Far Cry Primal. I haven't played any of those games.
Yeah, you're not a Far Cry player, but...
I'm not a much player. I like Madden, and I like to buy video games that I can't play, because
you like to give the money, but never play the content.
I like to show off my collection of PS4 games to whoever comes over, but when it comes down to playing it, I really would like to sit down and be able to do some quality gaming, but unfortunately other things come first.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's okay. I mean, if you don't have time, you got to pick the games that you want to play the most.
That's right.
For me, I have time. I should be more busy, but I'm not. So I'll talk about Far Cry Primal for a second. A lot of people I've been reading on Reddit and the World Wide Web, NeoGAF, all those fancy places where people like to bitch. A lot of people are saying that it's Far Cry 4.5, and I disagree. Yeah, the people are reskinned and the animals are reskinned, but from what I can see, that whole world that they created, Oros, I believe it's called, the color palette is so different from any other Far Cry game. I mean, there's no buildings, so you have to get rid of all those drabby grays and all that. It's very green, very lively. So I think this is a legit title. I think they really spent some time on this. They teased it like a year and a half ago, and nobody knew what they were teasing.
Right.
So I think it'll be good.
So all I know about this title is that it's set back in the prehistoric.
Yeah, the Stone Age,
Stone
like
Age.
10,000 BC.
You get to walk around with some dinosaurs. What's exactly the game
So unfortunately, there's no dinosaurs.
about? What?
There's no dinosaurs, but you play Takar and you become the Beastmaster, and you're able to.
If I can ride a woolly mammoth.
You can.
Okay.
You can ride woolly mammoths. You can control wolves. You get an owl that if you upgrade the owl, he can do like dive bomb attacks and drop huge rocks on your enemies. And
Cool.
you get a saber-tooth tiger when you're a high enough level, and he'll go out and kill people for you. It looks fun. It'll probably get mediocre reviews. I'm guessing 7 to 8.5.
Right. That's actually pretty good, I'd say.
Well, yes. I mean, not everything has to be a 10, and even a 10 isn't a perfect game. The Last of Us got a 10. It wasn't perfect.
No.
The Witcher 3 got a 10. It's not a perfect game. A 10 is just something that you should play. It's really well done. And there are a lot of games that have 7 reviews that I disagree with. I mean, Assassin's Creed Syndicate got an 8 or an 8.5. That was my favorite game of 2015. So, I mean, don't trust the reviews. Get the game for yourself. Or come over to our Twitch live stream. I'll be live streaming Far Cry Primal the weekend it comes out. So you can.
I'll be live streaming anything and everything as soon as I get a minute to do so.
But yeah, I'll be live streaming that. You can watch it, or I might just capture some video and throw it up on our YouTube page. But enough of Far Cry Primal. One little tidbit of news I wanted to talk about here. Grand Theft Auto 5. That game has sold 65 million copies, which is insane. And I guess I should rephrase that. It's 65 million units shipped. So digitally, everything. So like GameStop and all the vendors that buy the game and then sell it. Which is astounding. I mean, it's the highest grossing video game Rockstar has ever made, and I think it's 4th on the list of highest grossing game of all time.
That's crazy. I have to sit down and play that game.
That list is a bunch of bullshit. Mobile Tetris is the number 1 on that list with 400 million downloads, and I think that's crap because it's just downloads. It's not a purchase. But Grand Theft Auto 5 is 4th on that list, which is incredible for Rockstar and for gaming and gamers and everything. If you don't have Grand Theft Auto 5, pick it up. It's a lot of fun. If you want to play Grand Theft Auto 5 or any other game with myself or Luis, you can add us on PlayStation Network. My ID is Captain Sniper. That's CAPT Sniper, SNIPER. And then Luis, your tag, if you will.
I have no clue. That's how good of a gamer I am.
I believe it's SparKing 1993 _1993. We'll get back to you on that. If you want to game with us, let us know. We have a lot of fun. We're not huge online gamers, but
To be fair, I this is my second PSN account. When I got my PS4, I could not remember what I had for my PS3.
Lil Sparta 93.
You got a better memory than I do, brother.
I play games a lot, so I remember those things. But yeah, if you want to game with us, we're not online all the time, but if we have something we want to play online, like Grand Theft Auto 5, we can do some heists.
There you go.
Hell yeah. Do some heists. It'll be a lot of fun. Or if you want to watch us play something that we aren't playing, go ahead, drop us a message on our YouTube page or Facebook, Everything But Talent. Tell us what you want to see. We'll go ahead and pick it up and play it. Now, be advised, we are up and coming, so we don't have a lot of revenue to spend. So if you want us to play a game, we'll do the best we can at getting it. If we have to Redbox it, we'll Redbox it and
Oh Lord.
and do some gameplay. But we'll do the best we can for you guys. I also wanted to just talk about really quickly, if you are not a Game Informer subscriber, go ahead, get a Game Informer subscription. It's an amazing magazine. The cover for this month is The Force Awakens Lego which is coming out.
Oh yeah.
And we'll talk about this for a minute because Luis is a huge Star Wars fan and really liked The Force Awakens. I did not. But it's $17.99 for a whole year, and you get magazines every month, and they talk about cool shit. But let's talk about The Force Awakens Lego game. What are your expectations for this game, Luis?
I expect it to be funny. I mean, first scene of the trailer is Finn standing up in the desert, and he has an alarm clock.
Come on. Oh, that's great. And yes, I mean, I think you can expect the game to be funny. Most of the Lego games that have come out have been pretty entertaining. I haven't played hardly any of them. The Lord of the Rings one is the only one I played because I love Lord of the Rings. I'm not big into Star Wars. I'm sorry, people. Star Wars just isn't my thing. And The Force Awakens was a cop-out, and that movie makes me angry. So,
Whoa. Tanner.
anyway,
Whoa.
we'll go ahead.
We want to gain fans here.
We'll go ahead and move on from The Force Awakens. Luis,
Yes.
let's see here. You have a pretty big topic for us.
Pretty big topic. Yes, it's a little game called No Man's Sky.
Yes, little.
It's a little game.
Little game.
It's a little game made by a little company. I'm not sure what their name even is, but it's a 10-man crew that designed this game. And what they did was use math to pretty much generate an infinite amount of planets. Even if everybody in the world were to try and explore each planet, it could not be done before our sun burned out, is the way they're explaining this game. But to me, it seems like it's just a Minecraft in space. There's not much behind it besides, oh, look how big this game is. What they have said repeatedly over and over again with every interview they've done, every talk show they've gone on, is that you can pretty much go from this planet to that planet. If you find something new, you can name it after yourself. And you can mine for resources. And if you mine too heavily for resources, there's these robots called the Sentinels that come after you and kill you. And they are extremely powerful. One shot and you're pretty much dead.
Sentinels, huh?
So you have to be really, really careful about even looking at a creature wrong because they'll come and throw you in space prison.
So from what you're talking about, I sense that you're excited but not too excited.
I'm skeptical about this game, and I'm also worried. PS4, it's a PS4 exclusive, and Sony has been hyping this game up to be the next big thing, and it very well could be the next big thing. But if anything is not even close to that hype, it's going to be bad for the producers. It's going to be bad for Sony.
Sure.
It's going to be bad for everybody.
Absolutely.
This game has so much hype built around it, and it's just a little crew of 10 guys that designed this game. So, I'm definitely going to pick it up. I'll give it a shot, but I don't see much of this game. I don't see a story to it. I just see you being able to explore. If you like that, if you like to explore, I'll go to this planet, then that planet.
Sure.
It'll be fun.
Yeah. I have seen a few things on this game. I am skeptical as well because the game is so massive and I don't think there's enough content to fill all of the things they're trying to do. I do agree with your comparison. I think it is Minecraft in space. I think the demographic will be kids.
Of course, yeah.
Between 5 and 14. I mean, I know a lot of adult people, a lot of our friends play Minecraft. I've played Minecraft before. It's not my forte. I don't enjoy it.
Right.
I mean, just mindless crap is not what I want. I want a story. So if No Man's Sky comes out and the developers say there's actually a story, it's not just exploring, then I might be a little more excited for it. But as of now, just flying my ship into all these planets, I'm meh about it.
Yeah, and the one thing they have sort of teased is that if they were to say that there's a main objective is to get to the center of the galaxy, which I would say is impossible because once you start out, you get thrown off into this one planet on the furthest rim of the galaxy that you're in. So, for me, I'll keep an eye on it. I'll probably rent it if anything. I don't think I'll drop
Sure.
$60 on this game.
Well, and that's another thing I want to talk about really quick. Do you think this game will be a full retail price $60 game?
With how much hype it's been getting, I think so.
Okay. Because I know, like, with The Witness, that new puzzle game that came out that everybody is raging on, I don't know if you've seen anything.
I haven't.
It wasn't a full retail $60. It was $40, and a lot of people were pissed off about it. But that game had 80 hours of content.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. For me, would I drop $60 on No Man's Sky? No. Would I drop $40 on No Man's Sky? Probably not. Will I rent it? Maybe. Like I said, I'm pretty skeptical about this game. I know a lot of people are interested. They just haven't shown enough for me to want to get it or even consider getting it.
If anything, I'll probably just watch some gameplay footage when it comes out because I don't even think I can justify renting it if it's going to be the repetitive process of flying to this planet and trying to find some
Sure.
resources to mine. You
Sure,
can't
sure.
even go and whack a bunny on the head because the Sentinels will come after you. So
Well, we'll look forward to No Man's Sky this year sometime, hopefully.
and
If
no release date yet.
I think they'll get it out this year. Probably holiday, maybe fall, like September, October. But my money is the end of November. I mean, there's going to be a lot of empty space. From what I can see in November, there aren't a lot of games that I know of that are coming out around that time. But also, next item of newsy news, Bethesda announced that they're going back to E3.
Nice.
Which gives cause for wondering, makes my mind get all perky. What do we think we're gonna see?
I would like to see a new Elder Scrolls game besides the
ZeniMax made Elder Scrolls Online, Tamriel Unlimited, that you can pick up for $49.99 at your local GameStop or Best Buy. Yes, I think a given is Fallout 4 DLC. I think they're going to show off their first campaign DLC for Fallout 4. Also, Bethesda owns a couple other companies. Bethesda owns Tango Gameworks, which made The Evil Within. So I bet The Evil Within 2 is a given, or something else from Tango. They also own the company that makes Wolfenstein, which I don't even remember who that is. But I think another Wolfenstein is inevitable because the Wolfenstein New Order got really good reviews. The Old Blood got good reviews. I don't know if we'll see Elder Scrolls 6.
That's the only thing that would catch my attention. Besides that, all those other titles are
They're meh in your mind?
meh.
I mean, Elder Scrolls 6, let's think about that. Fallout 4 just came out in November. They always do DLC for their games. I mean, that could change. They might not. But, I mean, it's a given.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we'll see Fallout 4 DLC. But Bethesda always does their games 4 to 5 years apart. Very seldom does the actual Bethesda studio put out a game before then. Now, the other companies they own obviously put out games. But the title that I really hope we see, which has already been announced, is Dishonored 2. I don't know if you played Dishonored.
I have not.
Dishonored was really good. Dishonored 2 looks incredible. But Elder Scrolls, in my mind, is a no.
That is very heartbreaking.
I think Elder Scrolls Online, you might see some new content for that. But Fallout 4 DLC, Dishonored 2, The Evil Within 2, I think that's what we're going to see from Bethesda. But it's just interesting to me because they're a company that never went to anything. And now, all of a sudden, 2 years in a row, they've gone to E3, which is awesome. I like that the company is doing that. Now, if we could get Rockstar to come out of their hidey hole and show something off, like Red Dead Redemption 2, that would be incredible. Or whatever the next Red Dead title is. Rockstar, you'll never hear this, but if by chance you do, please, for the love of everything that is holy, make Red Dead Redemption 2 or Red Dead whatever, because I need a Western fix, and Red Dead is your greatest title. But, Weezer, is there any other news you want to talk about? Anything else that has caught your eye? Or
In the gaming realm, I don't think so. What about you, my friend?
As far as games, there isn't anything right now that I've seen. We'll probably talk more about other stuff next episode. We'll drop stuff on Everything But Talent on Facebook and YouTube. Go give us a like, a share. Tell your friends. Tell your doctor, your dentist, your grandma, your grandpa, your brothers, your sisters.
Tell your boss.
Tell your boss.
Your
tell everybody at
coworkers.
work that you're listening to the greatest podcast known to man. And help us help you by giving you the best news
You're
possible.
listening to the greatest podcast ever recorded on a iPhone 6 Plus.
Absolutely. That is the truest statement ever. And if you give us likes and shares, we will give you magical little gifts. If we reach 65 likes by the end of the week is Sunday, February 14th, which is Valentine's Day. If we have 65 likes on our Facebook page, Everything But Talent, we will be giving away a $25 Amazon gift card to some lucky individual.
Very generous there, Mr. Tanner.
Yes, I want to give back to those that are going to give to us eventually, because we will be big, Luis, and you listeners. I promise you, we will be big. And also, we will be doing a trivia question about Luis and myself, and the first person with the correct answer will get a 3-month subscription to PlayStation Plus. So if you...
Or Amazon gift card equivalent.
Yes,
Not
or
really.
an Amazon gift card equivalent. Or if you do not have a PlayStation 4 or PS3, I will be more than happy to give you 3 months of Xbox Live for free. So whoever answers the trivia question, go ahead and expect that to come within the next couple of days after you answer the trivia question, which will be on our page tomorrow.
Tomorrow, when
If
this
you're-
podcast drops, which would be today,
Yes.
or are you talking about Sunday?
I am talking about Sunday.
Okay, I just confused myself.
I confused myself as well. So this trivia question will be on the Everything But Talent page on Facebook. I don't know what time, but be on the lookout for it between 12 and 3.
And
Mountain Standard.
obviously, you must have a like on our page in order
Yes.
to qualify for this.
If you don't
giveaway.
have a like on our page, then STFU and don't come back. But seriously, tell everybody about us, because we really want to give the best news possible. We really care about this stuff. We like games. We like movies. We're aspiring filmmakers. I'm writing screenplays. So if you're listening to this, shout out, because you're awesome for listening.
And if you've stuck around so far, I don't know how long we've been recording for, but
It's
you guys are awesome. We've got a little ways to go. We're still going to cover the Oscars. Well, Tanner is going to cover the Oscars. I haven't seen too many movies as of late. The last one I saw was Star Wars, and I loved it. But
And The Martian. Don't forget The Martian.
I saw that last night, yeah.
Yes.
The Martian was pretty good. Ridley Scott.
All right, everybody. So it's time for our main topic, which this week is going to be the Academy Awards. So if you like movies at all, like me and Luis, then the Academy Awards is something you look forward to every year. I make it a point in my household to barbecue or make a nice meal and sit down and drink lots of beer and watch the Oscars. It's a holiday to me. It may not be like that to you guys, but for me,
It's your Super Bowl.
it's my Super Bowl. I love the Academy Awards. It's gone downhill as of late, but we'll see what Chris Rock can do as the host. I mean, they had to put him in there with all the hate, Black Lives Matter and all that junk. So
I honestly think it's a bunch of overreaction,
I agree.
but the Academy could have thrown in Straight Outta Compton and
Yes, they could have. And you know what? We're going to talk about that, Luis. We're going to talk about that right meow.
Right, meow.
Right meow. So,
That's a terrible reference to a terrible movie, by the way.
Super Troopers is an incredible movie, and Super Troopers 2 is coming out,
Oh, no.
which I'm super stoked for. If any of you out there are Super Troopers fans, there is a Super Troopers 2. Say that 4 times fast. But yes, and also, if any of you have ever heard of Blue Mountain State, it's a Netflix show.
It was a Spike show originally.
Spike show.
A great show on a terrible network that got its due when Netflix picked it up.
Yes, they released a movie, The Rise of Thad or something like that.
Rise of Thadland. Cocaine everywhere.
Yes, but if you like Blue Mountain State, go check out their movie. It's on demand on Amazon. It's got a 71% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 3.5 on Metacritic. But let's jump right in to the Oscar nominations.
Tanner, I will let you take this away.
Luis, you have to. I can't talk to myself here, so don't leave me.
Oh well, I'll sit here, Tanner.
All right, so
you're the expert.
For the Oscar nominations, and those of you who give a flying hell about this, in the Best Picture category, we have The Big Short, The Revenant, Bridge of Spies, Brooklyn, Mad Max Fury Road, The Martian, Room, and Spotlight. And basically what Luis and I are doing here, we're going to discuss, and apparently mainly me, who we think is going to take home the gold. And this is a hard topic for Luis because he hasn't seen any of these movies.
Well, I saw The Martian.
You saw The Martian, and I'm very disappointed that you haven't seen Mad Max or The Revenant. But
I tried to talk to Carla into watching Mad Max, and she said she didn't want to watch people drive around and shoot each other. So, we watched The Martian.
All right. Well, The Martian is great. So let's talk about Best Picture nominations right now. The Big Short, for those of you who haven't seen it, is about the bank bailouts and all the scummy, nasty shit that all of those big banks on Wall Street were doing. It's directed by Adam McKay, who was also nominated for Best Director. It had a stellar cast: Ryan Gosling, Christian Bale, Steve Carell, and some other people. I don't remember their names as of this moment. But if you're looking for a great movie, I recommend The Big Short. It was very funny, and it was filmed in a very unique way. The next movie on the list is The Revenant, which is hands down the greatest movie of the last 10 years. If you haven't been to the movies and you're looking for something to get you out to the movies, The Revenant is incredible. It was shot by Alejandro Inarritu, who is also up for Best Director. And it was shot with all natural lighting in the Canadian wilderness, and also was shot in the most southern tip of Argentina because global warming is an asshole and melted all the snow. So they had to go around and find snow. But it has a stellar cast. Leonardo DiCaprio is the lead. Hugh Glass, he's also up for Best Actor in a Leading Role. Tom Hardy played his opposite. Very, very well done. Domhnall Gleeson, who is General Hux in The Force Awakens, and Bill or Charlie Weasley in Harry Potter is also in that movie. Will Poulter from We're the Millers is in the movie. It was very, very well done. A story about Hugh Glass and the bear attack that he survived and trekked 700 miles across the American frontier to kick some ass. So if you want to see a great action, drama, all-around great movie, go ahead, watch that. The next one is Bridge of Spies, directed by the famous Steven Spielberg. It's a true story about an insurance lawyer who defended a Russian spy. It's very intense, very well acted. Mark Rylance and Tom Hanks. Very good. I enjoyed the hell out of it. It's on DVD, Blu-ray, Amazon, and all other places that you can buy movies. So if you want to see it, go ahead and buy it. I don't have much to say about it. It's been a while since I've seen it. All I know is Tom Hanks played the insurance lawyer. Mark Rylance was the Russian spy. They went to Russia. An American got shot down, was captured by Russia, and then they did a big old deal. And it's a good movie. Watch it. It's kind of confusing. The other movie on the list here, Mad Max Fury Road. If you don't know what Mad Max is, you live in a fucking box. Or you've been hiding under a rock. This new one is a sequel, reboot type deal. The lead playing Mad Max is Tom Hardy. It's fantastic. Directed by George Miller. Fun fact, 80% of all the stunts in that movie were real. So a lot of those cars flipping and blowing up and people getting thrown everywhere was legit. Fun fact, Charlize Theron does have both her arms. So in the movie she's missing an arm. Don't be alarmed. She's okay. CGI. Got rid of that arm. So for those of you worried about her, she's okay. But I'm not going to explain Mad Max because if you don't know what it is, like I said, you've been under a rock. The Martian. Let's talk about The Martian for a minute because this is a movie that we both have seen.
Of course.
What did you like?
Well, it's science fiction. Besides horror, that's one of my favorite genres. Matt Damon.
Matt Damon was so flipping amazing in that movie.
He pretty much carried that movie. All the other characters were minimal.
Yeah.
To what Matt Damon did. I think he did a phenomenal job. Yeah.
I loved it. I think it's Ridley Scott's best movie since Gladiator. I don't think he'll ever make anything better than Gladiator, but that's just my personal opinion. But Matt Damon, definitely his best performance ever. I think he did better in this than he did in Good Will Hunting, which is like everyone's favorite Matt Damon movie. Or if you don't like Good Will Hunting, Jason Bourne, whatever. I don't know. But anyway, The Martian was incredible. Matt Damon was hilarious. It was sad. It was dramatic. It had everything you could possibly want.
My heart was pumping.
Yes.
By the time they're trying to
Spoilers,
everybody, spoilers.
If you haven't seen this is we're about to divulge the end of this movie. So spoilers, you've been warned. Continue.
Anyway, by the final sequence when I forgot the crew's name, they're trying to rescue Matt Damon. That part had me at the edge of my seat.
Clenching your butthole and yeah,
I was actually sweating. It was a great sequence of however long. Great.
Gritty. All right, so The Martian. Now these next three movies I have not seen and Luis hasn't seen, but the next one on the list is called Brooklyn. From the synopsis of Brooklyn, it's about an Irish immigrant who comes to New York in the 1950s, falls in love, and then goes back home and gets tempted by this man in her homeland and falls in love with him, and it's a big old love, cheaty, I love you, but I also love this guy, who
it's a better love story than Twilight.
Yeah, it's still a better love story than Twilight, but who really gives a fly about that movie? If you've seen it, let us know if it was good. I might rent it. Other than that, Saoirse Ronan is beautiful, and she's up for leading actress, I believe. Yes, she is. Leading actress for Brooklyn. So it must have been good. The next movie on the list of Best Picture is Room, starring Brie Larson and Jacob Tremblay. Plays a mom and her son who have been held captive for years in a single enclosed space. The boy has never seen the outside world. They're finally released, and it's just a story of how he reacts to the world outside. Brie Larson is also up for leading actress. And then the last movie for Best Picture is Spotlight, which I have been dying to see, but haven't had any time. But it's about the news reporter team, I think, that worked for the Boston Globe that brought down the Catholic Church's sex ring. They're the ones who made like all the child pornography public and everything that the Catholic priests were doing to children. It looks incredible.
Yeah,
I definitely want to see it. It's definitely an important topic. I think everybody should watch it. Another movie, while we're still in Best Picture, that I think deserved a Best Picture award was The Danish Girl, which if you haven't seen The Danish Girl and you are a part of the LGBT community or support that in any fashion or just want to see good fucking movie and great acting, go watch The Danish Girl. It's one of the most...
A good fucking movie or a good fucking movie?
Both.
Okay.
There's some sex in there. But it's a very important movie. It's one of my favorite movies. I'm a huge supporter of the LGBT community. And I think it's one of the most important movies of our time, of our generation.
Yes. All jokes aside, very important.
Yes, so if you haven't seen it, go ahead and get out there and watch it. I believe in some theaters you can still see it, DVD, Amazon, Blu-ray, whatever. For those of you who don't know, it's about the first transgender I believe, in the world. I will have to look that up and just check my facts, but I think it was in the world. Lily Elby. It's incredible. Eddie Redmayne is up for leading actor. He did a fucking fantastic job, and you really need to see it. Anyway, moving on. Leading actor, we'll start here. Bryan Cranston. If you guys don't know who that is, that's Walter White from Breaking Bad.
He has blown up since Breaking Bad.
He has. Let's talk about this guy for a minute. This guy, nobody really gave a flying shit about him. I mean, he did Malcolm in the Middle.
I liked him in that.
Yeah, he's great in Malcolm in the Middle, but nobody really cared about him. And then he landed this role, Breaking Bad, which, if I remember correctly, is your favorite show.
Favorite drama.
Favorite drama. So, for me, I watched it all. I found it mediocre at best.
I for real can't look at you anymore.
Like, the writing was impressive, but it was too slow for me. Bryan Cranston, however, killed it. I think he slayed that show every episode, every season. He was amazing. And obviously, he was the reigning leading actor in the Emmys. I mean, he's won like 4 or 5 Emmy Awards for that show. So he did really good. But he is up for leading actor in a movie called Trumbo, which I have not seen, but I hear is fantastic. It's about Hollywood in 1950s, or actually 1947, excuse me. It's about a guy, Donald or Dalton Trumbo. He was a Hollywood screenwriter, and it's about how he was persecuted and people like him were persecuted for their political beliefs. I haven't seen it, but I want to. So as soon as it's available on Amazon, I'm going to pick it up. Our next leading actor is Matt Damon for The Martian, commonly mistaken for Ben Affleck and vice versa. I think
really?
They look like brothers.
I don't see it.
Everyone mistakes them all the time. But Matt Damon for The Martian, who did an incredible job. He was hilarious. He was sad. He pulled my heartstrings. He got my funny bones.
He was a perfect character. All these superhero movies I see coming out, or just any movie in general, has that arrogant but lovable character.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Damon pulled that off completely.
For sure.
Some movies that I've seen, in Star Wars, Poe, it felt forced. And although we didn't get to see much of Poe, it felt forced in the beginning. Spoilers when he's talking to Kylo Ren.
Yeah, spoilers. I'm going to disagree. I didn't like The Force Awakens, but the one thing I did like about The Force Awakens was Poe Dameron. He was my favorite character.
Really?
I liked him the most.
Daisy Ridley stole the show for me.
She's great. And
BB-8.
Yes, I'm curious to see what Rey's lineage is. Spoilers if you haven't seen the movie. Spoiler. I believe she's a Kenobi, but that's just my personal opinion.
Me too.
If she turns out to be a Skywalker, I'm going to be really pissed.
The one thing that I can see happening, well, two things, is either she is from an unknown family and she just got left with Luke to train, or she's a Skywalker because every single movie that has come before this one is based around the Skywalkers. And yes, Kylo Ren is a Skywalker as well. But spoilers, ever since he killed his dad, Han Solo, he pretty much fully embraced the dark side. And that was the only thing pulling him back to the light. So, the prophecy foretold of a Skywalker bringing balance to the Force. And so now we have these two Skywalkers, Rey, who represents the light side and is fully submerged in it, and Kylo Ren, who is fully submerged in the dark side. And they're going to have to battle it out and then hug it out.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what happens. I mean, I wasn't a huge fan of A New Hope, but I love The Empire Strikes Back, and I love The Return of the Jedi. And all the prequels are great. I mean, I even like The Phantom Menace, and everybody hates that movie, but you all can go fucking die. Because
Darth Maul made that movie.
Darth Maul did make that movie, but Liam Neeson as Qui-Gon Jinn was incredible. Ewan McGregor as Kenobi was great. And if the rumors are true and Jar Jar Binks was supposed to be the Dark Lord of the Sith And like that was going to be the whole big storyline. If you haven't heard that rumor, you live in a fucking box. So sorry if I spoiled that for you, but if that was the truth and they didn't run with it, they really missed an opportunity because yeah, Jar Jar Binks was annoying, but he had so much potential and he was supposed to be annoying. And I like it. So all of you who don't like it, you can just have your opinions and I'll have mine, whatever. But coming away from Star Wars, back to our leading actors for the Academy Awards. Our next bro is Leonardo DiCaprio, who is nominated for The Revenant, which I've already explained is the greatest movie in the last 10 years. If you haven't seen the Lord of the Rings trilogy, you live in a box as well. That's the greatest trilogy of all time. But yes, Leonardo DiCaprio, The Revenant, he went full force in this movie. He ate a real bison liver. He's a vegetarian. He ate a real bison liver for the movie, threw up in the movie. Like, they kept it all in the movie. And they slept in wild animal carcasses to stay warm. I mean, they did so much. They were in freezing cold temperatures, -40, swam in rivers. I mean, they did so much. And the cinematographer, Emmanuel Lubezki, that dude is a god. Everything he did in that movie was incredible. And then also, just for you fine folks at home listening, if you're curious, I do have right here in front of me the amount of nominations that each of these guys have had and the amount of wins. And I want to talk for a second about Leonardo DiCaprio, who is one of the finest actors in Hollywood, with 5 nominations and 0 wins. And I know this is a huge deal. It's on social media all the time. There's memes about it. People are seriously like, what the hell is wrong with Hollywood? Because the guy has done some incredible shit. The Wolf of Wall Street, he was nominated for that. Fantastic movie. Hilarious. What's Eating Gilbert Grape, he was nominated for that. Fun fact, if you haven't seen that movie, when they did the red carpet premiere, people actually thought that he was mentally challenged because he plays a mentally challenged child in that movie. I think he's like 11 or 12 in the movie. But when they did the red carpet premiere, nobody recognized him because he wasn't mentally challenged. Like, everybody believed his performance. He was nominated for that. Nominated for The Aviator when he played Howard Hughes. And then he was nominated for The Revenant. And there's one other nomination. I don't remember the other nomination. But needless to say, this guy deserves a freaking Academy Award. And then back to Matt Damon really quick. He had 4 nominations and 1 win, but it wasn't for acting. It was for screenplay. He won for writing the screenplay for Good Will Hunting. And then you have Bryan Cranston for Trumbo. That's his first nomination. Eddie Redmayne for The Danish Girl, which we already discussed, is a very important film. Go watch it. This is his second nomination. He won last year for The Theory of Everything, where he portrayed Stephen Hawking. And then our next bro on the list is Michael Fassbender, who Luis has a crush on.
No, actually, it's Bradley Cooper who I have a crush on.
Oh.
But Fassbender could come in close second.
I have a crush on Michael Fassbender. That guy's amazing. He's so talented. He plays Magneto perfectly. Everything he does is gold. He's nominated for Steve Jobs, which I haven't seen. I hear it sucks. Sorry, whoever made that movie, which I think Danny Boyle is the director.
If he is nominated in a second movie, that just goes to show how
good he is.
How good he is, yes.
And I know that movie got very mediocre reviews. So, yeah, that's our leading actor category. Our next category is leading actress. Our first lady of the hour is Cate Blanchett. She was nominated for Carol, which I have not seen, but also is a very important movie. It's about her relationship with another woman who's played by Rooney Mara. So again, if you support LGBT, go watch that movie. It's great. From what I hear, I haven't seen it. It's not a true story, however. Brie Larson is nominated for The Room. I've never heard of this lady in my life. She won the Golden Globe for this movie, so she must be good. But I've never heard of her. I haven't seen The Room either. Jennifer Lawrence, oh Lord. Jennifer Lawrence. She's a babe.
No, I can't agree with that.
She's nominated for Joy. which is about Joy Mangano, who developed the mop or the Swiffer wet jet or some crap like that. I don't know. It's a true story. It's directed by David O. Russell, who is also the director of the other movie Jennifer Lawrence was nominated for and won Silver Linings Playbook. If you haven't seen that, it's on Netflix. Watch it. It's good. But I haven't seen Joy, and it got terrible reviews, so I probably will never watch it. But if you're listening and you want to see Joy, watch it and let me know how it is, because I don't think I'll ever watch it. Charlotte Rampling is nominated for 45 Years. I have no idea who she is. I've never heard of her. I've never even heard of the movie 45 Years, and I watch a crap load of movies. So I guess I'll have to watch it because she's nominated. And then Saoirse Ronan is nominated for Brooklyn. She's from Ireland. Her name is spelled Saoirse, and it's pronounced Saoirse. I don't know how the hell you do that, but okay. It looks good. Saoirse Ronan's a great actress. Anyway, next category, supporting actor. Christian Bale for The Big Short, which we all know who Christian Bale is. He was Batman for a while. He was in The Prestige with Christopher Nolan. Great actor. Tom Hardy for The Revenant, who played Fitzgerald, which was the antagonist to Leonardo DiCaprio's protagonist in The Revenant. Mark Ruffalo for Spotlight. He was one of the news reporters for the Boston Globe. Mark Rylance for Bridge of Spies, which was fantastic, and I don't know how he got nominated and Tom Hanks didn't, but that's beyond me. And then the last guy, and the guy that I think deserves to win, Sylvester Stallone for Creed. The guy announced his retirement. He went out on top. Creed was a fantastic film, and if he gets the win, he'll have come full circle. His first nomination and his only other nomination was for the first Rocky. He was nominated twice for that movie, for Best Actor and Best Writer. But yeah, we'll do supporting actress, and then we'll talk about who we think is going to take home the gold, and then we'll cover a couple more areas, and then it's time to say goodbye. You fine folks, if you've stuck around this long, I appreciate you, and Luis appreciates you.
We deeply, deeply appreciate you.
We love you, and I'm sorry if this is taking so long and you're bored.
Future Tanner, future Luis, you guys are troopers listening to this.
Yes.
And if anyone else, we appreciate you guys.
But our next category is supporting actress. Jennifer Jason Leigh for The Hateful Eight. If you haven't seen The Hateful Eight, it's a Tarantino movie. It's fantastic. It's his best movie. And you can't argue with me, so shut up.
I need to watch that.
Rooney Mara for Carol, which I haven't seen, but she's a fantastic actress. Rachel McAdams for Spotlight. This one surprises me. I think Rachel McAdams is a decent actress at best. I don't think she's Academy material, but I haven't seen Spotlight, so I can't judge. Finally, Alicia Vikander for The Danish Girl. And I've already said Danish Girl is amazing. Go watch it. She plays the wife to Eddie Redmayne's character. Very good. And then Kate Winslet is also nominated for Steve Jobs as Best Supporting Actress. And if you don't know who Kate Winslet is, you've been living under a fucking rock. But before we continue on with the next three categories, and there's a lot more categories than that in the Academy Awards, but I don't give a shit about any of the other categories. So first, let's talk about Best Picture. Luis, you haven't seen...
I haven't seen any of these.
You haven't seen any of these movies, but let's talk for a second. Just based off of the hype around The Revenant, The Big Short, Mad Max, and The Martian.
The Big Short looked interesting, and when I saw the previews for that, I really wanted to see it.
Okay.
That's all I can say because I haven't seen it. But
okay, no worries.
The Martian, I really enjoyed it. It was a long movie for me, 2 hours and 20 minutes. Maybe it just felt long because it was already 10 o'clock when I started watching it.
Well, then, Luis, you can't watch The Revenant because it's a 3-hour movie.
I don't mind long movies. Django is a long movie.
Hateful Eight's 3 hours too. So
If it keeps me engaged, and The Martian did, I was just feeling a little tired, but by the third act, it woke me up by how good it was. But yeah, I've seen The Martian, so go Martian.
The Martian is Luis's pick.
But I will say this: I do think it's a little weird that only 8 movies got nominated when there's 10 spots, right?
Well, see, here's the deal. Before 2007 or 2008, I believe, the Academy only nominated 5 Best Pictures. Then they moved it up to 8. Then they went to 10, and now they're back down to 8. And the reason they did that is because they feel, and I don't agree, they feel that the Best Picture nomination is the most prestigious award. I agree with that, but I don't agree with limiting the slot.
Yeah.
Because you have a lot of biased opinions in there.
Right.
And if you limit the slots, the same type of movie is always going to be nominated. Mm-hmm. There needs to be more diversity. And that goes in line with the whole there's not enough black people or people of color, not just black people. I mean, it can be anybody of color. There's not enough people of color nominated. Well, to get nominated, you have to be in a fucking movie that's actually good. And I'm sorry to break it to all of you people listening, but there weren't very many people of color in anything this year. Or 2015. I mean, you have Straight Outta Compton, which was very good, and I am surprised as hell that it didn't get a Best Picture nomination. And I'm very surprised that not a single one of those kids got nominated for a Best Actor, because they all equally did amazing. I think Eazy-E and Ice Cube were very well portrayed, better than the rest.
Yes.
But the only other person of color that did a movie that I've seen that I really liked, well, 2 people, was Samuel L. Jackson in The Hateful Eight. He was the lead, and I think he could have got a nomination. But the way the movie was, it was very racist, very violent. It was very Tarantino, and very rarely do his movies get a lot of nominations.
Right.
And then you have Idris Elba for Beasts of No Nation, which is a phenomenal movie. If you haven't seen it, it's on Netflix. Please go watch it. It's also a very important movie about child violence and child armies in Africa. If you don't have a stomach for violence, don't watch it. But if you can get past all that crap, watch it. And Idris Elba's character is awful. He's evil as fuck. But
he played it
so perfect.
Exactly.
So perfect. And he won SAG Awards for it. And then he won SAG Awards for Luther, which he did incredible. But those 3 are the only things that anybody can really talk about. But there could be other stuff. I know that in movies, people of color dominated. I mean, Viola Davis destroyed the Emmys and the Golden Globes. Taraji P. Henson, same thing. And I don't know what everybody's crying about. Yeah, I think there needs to be more people of color in the board of the Academy. And there always needs to be more diversity. And we're finally learning that. The world is learning that. A lot of other places do it better than America. But, I mean, come on, give us a little bit of credit.
In the end, it comes down to personal opinion. These are forms of entertainment.
Yeah.
This isn't going to, by any means, end the world.
Yeah. I think it's just, we're in the day and age where everybody is wanting to have an opinion. Everybody wants to bitch about something.
Everybody's on high edge about political correctness and all that mumbo jumbo. To be honest, it's a matter of opinion.
Yeah, absolutely.
One person can like this, one person can like that.
Absolutely.
In form of entertainment, of course, but...
Absolutely. And for those of you listening, if you have noticed, we're not politically correct at all, because we don't give a fuck. If you don't like what we do, go away. But stay, because we love you. But yeah, I totally wholeheartedly agree with you. Like, this is entertainment. This isn't politics. These people are making movies to entertain you. Like, if you're an actor and you're an actor of color, then do your fucking job. If you want to get nominated, pick a role that you know you're going to get nominated for. Otherwise, shut the fuck up. Like, it's whatever. And I'll probably get a lot of heat for that. I'm sorry, but it's whatever. I'm not racist. I have nothing against anybody of color. It's whatever. But moving on from this to our next category, leading actor. Who do you think is going to take home the gold? You've only seen The Martian. Matt Damon is nominated.
That's my answer. Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. Okay, so for me, I didn't.
Probably Leo. Just kidding.
I didn't answer who I think is going to take home Best Picture, but I think the gold is going to go to The Revenant because it's revolutionary. I mean, everybody loves that movie. Has unanimous praise. It's shot with natural light. It just changed the industry. If it doesn't win, Mad Max Fury Road is my second pick. A lot of people think The Big Short is going to win. I think it could. They all have equal opportunity, but my 2 picks are The Revenant and Mad Max. So leading actor, Matt Damon is what you're choosing, or Leo?
I'm going for Leo.
Leo?
He deserves it.
I'm gonna go with Leo as well. Long time coming. I'm surprised he hasn't won. The Academy apparently hates his guts or something, because there are years.
If anything, the Academy is racist against Leo.
Yes,
He's done nothing wrong.
Yeah, he hasn't, and I mean he's done a lot of incredible movies. But I think my second pick is Eddie Redmayne for The Danish Girl. He did a fantastic job. I don't know. The Danish Girl was just an important movie, and it resonated with me. So that's my second pick. But I think Leo is going to take the cake, and if he doesn't, then fuck you, Academy. You guys are jerks. Next on the list, actress in a leading role. I haven't seen any of the movies that any of these ladies are nominated for, so I'm going to go with the safe bet and pick Cate Blanchett because she's won a whole hell of a number of other times. I mean, she won 2014 for Blue Jasmine. She won for something else in like 2005. She's been nominated 7 times. So that's my pick. She's the safe bet. I don't know. Who do you think?
I forgot the names you mentioned, so I'll go with your pick.
With Cate Blanchett?
Cate Blanchett.
Or Jennifer Lawrence?
No.
No? All right, so our next one, supporting actor, Christian Bale for The Big Short, Tom Hardy for The Revenant, Mark Ruffalo for Spotlight, Mark Rylance for Bridge of Spies, and Sylvester Stallone for Creed. My pick is Sylvester Stallone. He did phenomenal in Creed.
I like Old Man Stallone.
He carried the movie, in my opinion. If I had to pick a second, it would be Tom Hardy. He was absolutely amazing in The Revenant. And I am just a Tom Hardy fanboy. That dude is a phenomenal actor. He can do anything. But what's your pick, Luis?
I'll go with C. C's always right. When in doubt, pick C.
So what's C?
I don't know. How do you have him listed?
So C would be Mark Ruffalo.
We'll go with Mark Ruffalo.
For Spotlight? All right. So Luis's pick is Mark Ruffalo for Spotlight. And then supporting actress, did we already cover this? I don't think we covered this. Maybe we did. I talked about it for a second. I've been talking so much. It's all coming.
It's all blending together.
Yeah, my brain is getting scrambled. So Jennifer Jason Leigh for Hateful Eight, Rooney Mara for Carol, Rachel McAdams for Spotlight, Alicia Vikander for Danish Girl, and Kate Winslet for Steve Jobs. My pick is Alicia Vikander for The Danish Girl because she did fucking amazing. But the person that's probably going to win it is Jennifer Jason Leigh because she hasn't been in movies for a long time, and she's come back and she killed it in The Hateful Eight. She was really good. But Alicia Vikander, she won me over, and she's hot, so she's my pick.
I'll go with the hot pick too then.
All right, cool. So Alicia Vikander. All right, so the next 3 categories, and I'm gonna blow through these because we have some important things to do. I'm sorry, folks. We have dinner to get to.
What are the next 3 topics, Tanner?
Animated film, Anomalisa. Never seen it. It's a claymation movie.
Inside Out. Next topic.
And all right, so Inside Out is the guaranteed win. Pixar dominates. The only movie I see giving it any challenge is Shaun the Sheep, which is made by the same people who did Wallace and Gromit and Chicken Run. Cinematography. Carol, Hateful Eight, Revenant, Sicario, and Mad Max are all nominated for cinematography. Hands down, The Revenant. Emmanuel Lubezki destroyed anybody else. The only other person that I could see, Hateful Eight was good, but Sicario. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's available on Amazon, Blu-ray, all that jazz. Directing, Adam McKay for The Big Short, George Miller for Mad Max, Alejandro Inarritu for The Revenant, Lenny Abrahamson for The Room, and Tom McCarthy for Spotlight. My pick is Adam McKay for The Big Short. I know that's going to surprise a lot of you people because all I do is talk huge about Alejandro Inarritu for The Revenant because he's so revolutionary, but Adam McKay destroyed it with The Big Short, so he's my pick.
Is that it?
Yeah.
All right. I just want to cover some things that, since I can contribute too much to this conversation about movies that have come out and are being nominated for awards, I want to talk about some movies I'm looking forward to really quick.
All right.
So let me just
Woo!
elaborate here. So I've got 3 movies that I'm personally looking forward to. One of them being The Purge, election year. I was part of the hype train that got on board for the first Purge and was kind of let down. And then the second one came out and kind of redeemed itself. And this third one looks very interesting. I can't wait to see how they take.
I'm gonna stop you right here and ask you a question.
Okay.
The first Purge was the most ridiculously horrible movie I've ever watched in my life. Now the second one looked really good actually, and I was surprised. And Frank Grillo is a good actor. I like him, but I've never seen The Purge 2. Is it good?
It's better. It's better. There's a lot of creativity into it. I think I don't want to give too much away for you if you haven't seen it. What I would say is check it out.
Okay.
The one concern I have, concern about these movies is they focus too much on murder, and I know that's the thing. Go out and kill people during the Purge, but all crime is illegal. If it were up to me, I would be loading my truck up with a bunch of cool stuff and heading home and not killing anybody. But that's just me.
Or hacking a bank vault and stealing tons of money.
Yes, one or the other. Either way, free stuff. So second one, this was shared on EverythingButTalent's Facebook page. I deleted it because the video wouldn't play for me, but apparently it played for
everybody else. It played for me. Hardcore Henry!
Hardcore Henry, of course. This is a point of view kick-ass movie, pretty much. It's all shot in the first person. It's about some guy that I think gets brought back from the dead or something, and he's half bionic, and he goes around and punches people in the face and shoots them in the face and does everything to their faces. It looks great.
It's a gory shoot fest.
It is, and I can't wait for it.
I will agree with you on this. I think this movie has a lot of potential, like you said. I know POV movies aren't very well received, the very few that there are. But I think in Hollywood, but in independent and underground places, they are very well received.
Very well.
If you haven't seen it, there's a short film on YouTube called The Box, and it's one of the greatest POV films I've ever watched. It's incredible.
And my one worry about this is that I don't want to see this take a paranormal activity route or any found footage type route. I don't want to get bombarded by that. Mm-hmm. This seems unique. This seems new, fresh.
For sure.
I want to keep it that way.
For sure.
But Hollywood, knowing Hollywood, they are going to milk the holy hell out of Hardcore Henry.
Yes, Hollywood are a bunch of douchebags, and yeah, when we make our movies, we're not working with Hollywood. Fuck them.
And the last thing I want to say is I'm excited for Star Wars Episode 8.
I am excited for Star Wars Episode 8, but I'm skeptical because I can't get on the train, Luis. I can't get on the train. I can't. The Force Awakens was good, but it wasn't. It was a letdown. That final sequence with that helicopter pan and their spoilers. If you haven't seen The Force Awakens, you've been living under a fucking rock.
Tanner is going to have a shirt that says, "You've been living under a fucking rock."
Yes, I am.
Inside of a box.
Yes, or inside of a box.
Out next week.
It comes out next week. You can get it on Everything But Talent's page, $12.99. I'll ship it wherever you need to go. If you live in Utah, I'll drop it off at your house. Anyway, that final sequence for The Force Awakens, when Rey is handing the lightsaber to Luke and he's just staring at her, was the worst, most drug out sequence of my life. And it just ended so... God, it just made me so mad. Like, you build up all this hype, and I'm watching this movie. Spoiler.
It was a literal cliffhanger. They were on a cliff,
yes,
and they left you hanging there.
Like, spoiler. When Han Solo died, I was like, holy fuck. This movie is going somewhere. And then it didn't go anywhere. You had Han Solo die. Everybody was all busted up about it. You had the fight with Kylo Ren and Finn, and then with Rey, and all of a sudden Rey is this Force affinity crazy badass out of nowhere.
The thing is, that's what leads me to think she was training with Luke. Her memory was wiped. Something happened, and she's just recalling all these powers. Kylo Ren went inside of her mind to look for the map that she saw with BB-8, right?
Uh-huh.
And I'm guessing not awakened, unlocked.
The Force Awakens.
Exactly. Exactly. So it all... it's all kind of vague and not very well explained, but
Yeah.
I'd say give it a shot. Episode 8.
I'm on board for episode 8 because if they do what they did with The Empire Strikes Back, I'm ready. What I will say though is I'm on the hype train. I'm going 90 miles an hour for Rogue One. That movie has got me. It's got his teeth into me.
Donnie Yen.
Yeah, Donnie Yen. That whole cast looks incredible, and I'm just so excited because.
Do you think they'll bring back Darth Vader? They have to, right?
Yes.
They have to.
They have to because the story is about when the rebels steal the plans for the Death Star. If he doesn't make an appearance, I'll be fucking pissed because that's a huge part of Darth Vader.
Would you say
Hayden Christensen?
Bring back Hayden Christensen.
If you bring him back and he has his mask off, yeah. If not, find somebody who can do Vader's voice and put somebody in a suit. Save money.
Yeah.
But if you have to show a scene with Hayden Christensen, yeah, bring him back. I think he killed it as Anakin Skywalker. Everybody else doesn't like him, and I think he fucking did amazing. So all of you can go to hell. But he did really good. And with Rogue One, like it's a story I'm so interested in because I want to know like what the cost was for the rebels to get those Death Star plans.
Yeah.
And all those characters they're creating. And also, it's going to be one huge battle movie. You know how many explosions are going to be in that movie? Like
it's gonna be fun.
The inner bowels of me are just going crazy. Like all the testosterone inside the inner bowels of me is just coming out. Everything. Like I'm just so excited. It's gonna be
great. And honestly,
incredible.
Every December there's gonna be a new Star Wars movie.
For the next 40 years, if you didn't hear. For those of you listening,
And
Disney is making Star Wars for 40 years.
And the thing that I didn't like, at least at first, was when Disney scrapped all the canon, or not all the canon, all the extended universe stuff.
For sure.
And they're just going to, I guess, start fresh. So I guess we'll see what they do with that. They're going to make a lot of spin-off movies, and hopefully they come up with cool stuff. Hopefully they bring some of the fan-favorite extended universe characters, like Revan, Malik, Darth, Bane, Bastila Shan, and just so many possibilities.
If they bring the Old Republic back, I will get behind that.
If they bring back that game.
If BioWare makes that game for console and they make it right and they do it good, I will totally, absolutely, 100% get behind it. And if it becomes available to film, let's fucking do this. I'm all for it.
It would be great seeing because you want to see how the Sith, the Jedi, all of that started out.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to go to Korriban and see pureblood Sith training and all of that. Like that interests me. But like I said earlier in the podcast, Star Wars isn't my thing. Like I like it enough, but I'm not nerding out over it all like all the rest of you people in the world.
And also, Han Solo movie has been confirmed for 2018.
Yes, and a Boba Fett movie is coming out right after that, correct?
I haven't heard anything about that.
I'm pretty sure
they were in talks about it, but nothing's been. The CEO of Disney confirmed there's a Han Solo movie in the works for 2018.
Good.
Nothing of Boba Fett that I've heard.
Those of you who like Han Solo, I like Han Solo. Let's start a petition to get Chris Pratt to play fucking young Han Solo because he would kill it. That's my vote for young Han Solo.
Well, anyway, that is all I have to talk about.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was the first episode of Everything But Talent. And you can go to facebook.com and search Everything But Talent.
And that ran a lot longer than I thought it was going to.
Yes, it did. We're up to an hour and 43 minutes. So if you have stuck by us this whole damn time, I love you. You are incredible.
You guys are amazing.
If you haven't listened to all of this and it doesn't matter. If you've listened to any of this and you share this, you're great.
If you skip to this part exactly, go back to where you left off and listen to it. It's worth it.
Yes.
We will get better, guys. We're in the works of investing in a lot of really cool equipment that will help us out tremendously and being able to come off the sound better. This is being recorded on an iPhone, like I said earlier. It's the best we can do right now, but we want to get this rolling. We've been talking about it for way too long. If we don't start now, it's never going to happen. So we really appreciate the support. If you could share this, like it, comment on it, tell us what we can do better. Tell us what you want to hear us talk about. We will go out there and do our best to inform ourselves so we can give our opinions on it.
Absolutely. And if you go to facebook.com, Everything But Talents page, and drop a comment in there on what you want to hear us talk about, I'll make sure that one of the topics is chosen for episode 2, which will be recorded sometime in the next week. So if you have something that you're dying to hear about, and you want to listen to the two of us talk about it, go ahead, drop a comment, and we will discuss it. But that is all for Everything But Talent episode 1. We love you. Thank you. Luis, good night.
Good night, my friend. Thank you for listening.